Hey guys, this is my video for the contest for Deon. This is the first contest that I've ever done before, so I'm a little nervous, but I figured I would actually put myself on video because I've also never done that before. So, okay, let's get started with the species profile is going to be on the Escondido pearl scale cichlid, which is the H. carpintis. It's in the same family as the Texas cichlids. They're often mistaken as the Texas cichlid, the green Texas cichlids. In fact, they aren't Texas cichlids at all, which is weird to me that they're named Texas cichlids. I don't know whoever started that or how it got to the point where these fish have been renamed as that, but when I first wanted to get into, Texas cichlids and keeping fish from Mexico, I started doing some research, and, before I went out and purchased my fish, which there is a Texas cichlid right there. I'll tell you guys the difference between them in a minute. When I first started doing research on them, I'm like, oh, okay, they're the same. They're just called green Texas cichlids. Where to find out they weren't Texas cichlids at all. The difference between them, as you can see right here, is the pearling in them. Texas cichlids have fine spotted pearling, and pearl scales, Escondidos, they have large pearling that look like pearls. So that would give them their name, pearl scale cichlid. The difference between Escondido pearl scale cichlids and just pearl scale cichlids would only be the location of where they're found. The one that I have is called an Escondido cichlid. So I guess that would be the location where he was found at, would be Escondido, Mexico. A lot of times when you get them from different locations, the only difference in them is they're the same fish, it's just the coloration in them. So that would be them. He went to go hide now. Every other time he's out. Okay, anyways, so like I said, they're found in eastern Mexico. The really cool thing about those guys, there he is. The really cool thing about these guys is when you have two of them and they pair up and they spawn, they actually go into a breeding dress, which is so cool to me. I would love to actually see that happen. They go from the color that they are now to a, I believe their body turns white and their face turns black, or it's their face turns white and their body turns black, which is just absolutely amazing to me that a fish can just completely change coloration like that. I know a lot of fish change colors, when you put different substrates in, darker substrates, lighter substrates, but to actually change your just completely different colors and go black and white from, the color that you are, just is so freaking cool to me. So I would love to breed them and actually see the breeding dress that they go into, because that's my favorite part about those guys. They are really aggressive. It's probably one of the most aggressive fish that I've ever kept. I've kept flower horns. I've kept, there's my Texas cichlid. I've kept green terrors, Jack Dempsey's, these Barton cichlids. I've kept, different fish, and he has actually slaughtered my giant Danios, have eaten them. He has almost killed the green terror. He doesn't tolerate any females, it seems like. He's at the age now where you can sex him. I guess it's hard to tell sometimes with these guys unless you take them out and vent them. I guess a lot of times they say with these kinds of cichlids that you can go by their top dorsal fin. If they have a black blotch on their dorsal fin, then it's a female, and if there's no blotch on the dorsal fin, it's a male. I do believe that mine is a male, just because of the simple fact that he is just highly aggressive, and he just doesn't tolerate any female whatsoever. I've asked several people that knows how to sex them. They did agree that they thought he was a male, which was my suspicions all along. So, but again, there's no sure way to tell until, you have two that spawn, or you have, you know how to vent fish, which I don't know how to do that, and I don't really feel comfortable doing that. I just get really, like, freaked out taking the fish out of water, and so I just stay away from that whole aspect of it. So, okay, so that's that. So, breeding dress, would love to see. My only problem is getting another one that is his size now. As far as diet, they're, very similar to any other, Central American cichlid. They pretty much eat anything you feed them. I did notice a lot that he likes to eat out of the substrate a lot. He doesn't really go to the top for food like all the others do, but he will catch some bloodworms that are sinking down. He's back there digging right now. Like, that's what he does to eat. He digs in the substrate a lot, so he's a really awesome fish. I don't have any complaints about him at all, except they're, you gotta watch what you put him in with because they're highly aggressive. Same thing as Texas cichlids. I'm surprised that mine actually get along. Really cool fish. He's always got great colors, always so colored up. Like, it's one of my favorites. So that is not a Texas cichlid. For anyone who thinks that they are the same, they are not. And that's why I wanted to do the video on him. I was contemplating between my Barton cichlids and him, but I figured there's so much misinformation about the pearl scale cichlid, which half the time people probably don't even know what it is because it's just labeled as a green Texas cichlid. So that's why I wanted to do my video. So, pearling. Look for the pearling on the fish. If it's really small, like this guy right here, that's a Texas cichlid. It is a true Texas cichlid. If it's got big pearling, then it is not a Texas cichlid. Okay, so, and then, okay, let's do my, readings for my tank. Okay, got my pH. My pH is always the same. It never really changes. I don't do anything to change it. There's no reason for me to change it. All of the fish that I keep, they like the pH, pretty much where it's at. So there's no real need for me to change it at all. It's always between 7.4 and 7.6. My ammonia is at 0. My nitrates are at 0. I'm sorry, my nitrites. And then my nitrates, they're between 20 and 30, I would say. I always have such a hard time reading this. It's like all the oranges look the same to me. 40. Anyway, it's time for me to do a water change. I do a water change in the tank once a week, so this would mean that it is time for a water change. Okay, my shout out is going to be Chef Coop 69. He's been so awesome to me, and my husband. So kind. He's one of the first people that I've actually met in person from the fish hobby. Took his time to drive all the way down here to bring, the gift that we won from his contest, which he didn't have to do that. He could have just mailed it. And so we got to meet him, and it was such a wonderful experience. And not to mention, he brought tons of flower horn fry that he didn't feel like raising. So I'm raising them currently with my husband, and that to me is just the kindest thing ever because, like I said, he didn't have to do that. It was like a 3-hour drive for him, and he's just so active in the fish hobby, and I love to see people like that are always commenting on videos and always have some positive feedback, and it's just so wonderful that people out there are so kind, and he's one of them. So he is definitely my shout out. Chef Coop, you're awesome. I tell you that every day. You're awesome. Alright, thanks guys. That's my video. Hope it's not too long.